All right, thank you everybody for logging on. We're going to give it probably 2 more minutes before we get started. Just want to make sure that everybody has a chance to join before we get into the content about the new SEO formula for window tinting and home service contractors. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat or into the Q&A section. We'll be looking over those various times, answering them along the way, and then there will be time for Q&A at the end as well. We're going to give it 1 more minute till 3:05, and then we will go ahead and get started. So hang out for another couple minutes. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. Otherwise, we are going to get things rolling in 1 minute at 3:05. So just hang out for another few seconds before we get started. If anybody wants to drop into the chat where you are coming from, go ahead and do that. Just drop into the chat. Let me know where it is you're attending the session from. Looks like we have Paul from Austin. We have Marco from New Jersey. Wyatt from Wisconsin. All right, I'll keep checking in there. If you want to drop where you're coming from, any questions that you have into the chat, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm going to get started with the content. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. Today we're going to be discussing the new SEO formula for window tinting and home service contractors. One of the questions we get asked all the time is SEO still important? Is it something we should still be worrying about? And I would say it's even more important than it has been with all the recent changes to the algorithm and how Google is moving to what we would call zero-click search results, where they want people to just be able to call or submit information from the search results rather than going to a website. It's becoming even more and more important to rank highly to take advantage of that. We're going to discuss how to do that today on this call. Right, the first thing we're going to mention is what we call the digital dominance method. This is everything that kind of goes into your online marketing efforts. And today we're really going to be looking at part one of this. This is really the foundation for all your marketing efforts. All right, if we could have your attention, please, just for the next several minutes as we go through this next hour or so, be sure to turn off your cell phones, turn off Facebook. If you're a business owner and you're serious about getting better results from Google search, the next 60 to 90 minutes will really change, I'll say your life, but at least how you're looking at your online marketing efforts for your website and other properties. What we're going to cover today, the latest updates with the Google algorithm, things that you may have put in place in the past that could be hurting you now, the way the algorithm has changed. Some tactics in the past that were totally legitimate now are not at all and will actually hurt you, and how you can optimize your website using the new SEO formula to help you rank higher on Google Maps for a wider radius around your location. Why does this matter? There's a massive transition that has gone on from offline to online. We still see some businesses that are relying on offline marketing. That has its place, but you really have to learn to dominate online if you're going to grow your business. When 70% of consumers go online when they're looking for services, even if they get a recommendation, they're still going to check it out online. There are millions of searches every month for window tinting, window film, residential window tint. Everything around the industry gets millions of searches every month, hundreds of thousands in every market. And it should really be your top source for a new business every month. And unfortunately, Google's algorithm is constantly changing. They just did a huge update in the last month. Search engine results have been very, very dramatically swinging over the last month. Probably won't settle in for another 2 to 4 weeks before we see how the algorithm's really taking effect. But they are constantly doing updates, and major ones are coming, 2 or 3 a year at this point. So you just got to stay ahead of it. And AI is really going to be a game changer for SEO. People are using it for content. Google's trying to detect when AI content is being used. There are ways to use it to do other things on your search, on your social media platforms, for your ads, all kinds of different things where you can leverage AI to really improve your search engine results. Who am I and why should you listen to me? I have over 20 years of marketing experience. I'm the former VP of marketing and branding for an international technology firm. Created marketing campaigns for clients, including National Gallery of Art, United States Postal Service, Harris Bank, Visa, every branch of the military, on and on and on. I've had published articles on marketing and branding and advertising and tons of magazines and publications. We currently manage over $1 million in online ads, and I've worked with the window and glass tinting business for the last 5 years. And that's where we've developed our systems for the industry that we know will be successful. This is what we do. We work exclusively with the window and glass tinting industry, so we know how to capitalize on that knowledge for search engine optimization, Google ads, Facebook ads, etc. What this is supposed to do, it's to help you increase your sales, improve your online reputation, drive more calls, leads, and profits, and increase repeat and referral business. That's sort of the foundation of every business, but we're specifically focusing on the window and glass tinting industry. So let's get into the new SEO formula. Does SEO still matter? Kind of mentioned this already. Yes, it absolutely does. And the reason is on your average search, this is what you're going to see. Google AdWords is at the top, Google Maps is in the middle, and then Google Organic SEO is at the bottom. 71% of clicks goes to the map or the organic SEO. Those are all controlled by your search engine optimization efforts. So 29% of them go to the Google AdWords, but over 70% of people scroll right past that and select something else. So it's super important that you concentrate on your search engine optimization. 67% go to the first 5 listings. You can see them in here between the map pack and the first 2. 60% of customers are going to pick in there. So you've got to make sure that you're ranking at the top, or you're going to be missing out on the great majority of people who are looking for your products and services. So yes, SEO still matters, and it's always changing, so you got to stay ahead of it. This is just from our clients' Google business profiles over the course of a month. 469 calls from that one, 114 calls from this one. This was a brand new listing that literally was getting 0 calls from their Google business profile. And through our optimization efforts, we were able to raise it, you can see, almost 63% year over year through our optimization efforts. So it's very important. SEO should be a huge source of business for you. You can't rely on pay-per-click alone. So the new SEO formula. First, we need to figure out what are the most important keywords for your service area, and your search volume. They're different everywhere. There are a number of ways to do that. Google's keyword tool, WordStream, FIFO, Google AdWords, all of them will give you that information. This is where you're going to really start. This is the foundation of your SEO. It's got to be based on what people are actually searching for. Set up a great website with unique pages targeting those keywords. So when you find out what your keywords are, then the pages and the content on those pages should all relate to those keywords. If nobody in your area searches for home window tinting, then you can't have a page that's dedicated to home window tinting. There's just no point in it. In some markets, people search for home, and others, they search for residential. You got to find that information out before you build out your website. You want to have pages for each of your major services in each of your major cities in your service area. Cities, towns, counties, sub-cities, all like that. You need to target those so that Google sees you as relevant in those areas. You want to optimize your website for user experience. This means make it easy for a customer to use. We see so many websites that aren't optimized for conversion. What that means is that it doesn't make it easy for a customer to send you their information, and that's what they're there to do. They also want to get their questions answered. That's part of user experience as well. Having video that explains things, having a frequently asked questions section, explaining the benefits of your products and services are all very important things to do on your website. And then, of course, optimize it for search engine optimization, on-site optimization. We're going to go deep into that. You want to tell Google your story on your website so Google knows what your website is about, or else it will not be able to rank you. And then finally, you want to build your authority, and you do that offsite. You need to have as many references and citations back to your website as you can. Think of those as referrals. If you get one referral to someone, you might use them. If you get a bunch of referrals to someone, you're definitely going to use them. Same as online. Finally, track your results. If you make changes, you want to be able to track to see how they're working. Not every change is going to work. So if you make a major change to your website and your search traffic goes down, you know to undo that, right? So make sure you're tracking your results. We do have an checklist that we've set up for this. I will put a link to it in the chat. You can download this. It will give you some of the major things you should do on your website and off your website in terms of different activities that will help you improve your search results. Put this in here and you can download that as well. It can be your guide for search engine optimization on and off your website. So you just follow that link and you'll be able to download the checklist. All right, so far we've just kind of gone over the basics of what we're going to cover, but we're going to come back to this and kind of get ideas from everybody, what they're learning, what they noticed, and anything that they would like to share. So if you ever get any takeaways, be sure to put them into the chat. All right, first off, window tinting keywords. This is just a start of some of the keywords that are important for window film. On the right side of each column, you can see kind of the term, on the left side, the cities that you want to target. So when you're first starting out, things on the right side, tint, window tint, car window tint, auto window tint, automotive, all of those are super important. You want to target those with your content, but you also need to rank for that combined with the cities around your area, because people are going to search for those too, and those are very targeted. If I'm searching for Burke, Virginia, residential window tint, safe to say I live in that area and I'm interested in residential window tints. You have to have content that attacks both the term by itself and what we call the geo-modified term. Those are super important searches that you need to rank for. We have a list of window tint keywords that you can grab as well. It's right there, tinttitans.com/window tint keywords. On-site optimization, strong website with good content and good user experience. So you kind of have to balance things here. We see a lot of sites that are designed by designers that look pretty, but are terrible for user experience and they're terrible for search engine optimization. We see sites that are created by SEOs that have great SEO, terrible user experience, terrible look. You need to balance those things. It should look nice, it should have a great user experience, and it should be optimized for search engine optimization. You want to leverage multimedia wherever you can for on-page time. One of the things that Google ranks you for is how long someone stays on your site. If they're staying on your site for a long time, that says to Google, this is a great site. It has great information. It's answering customers' questions. We should rank it more highly. If someone lands on your site and immediately clicks away, that is a bad sign for Google. It means that they showed that person the wrong search results. If someone clicks, sees your site, goes away, Google thinks that that means, hey, I shouldn't show these guys as much because customers tend to get right away from it because they're not getting what they want from it. I'm going to have pages for each of your services: residential window film, commercial window film, security film, safety film, sun control, heat control, marine, automotive, Tesla. If you have specific services that you offer, have a specific page for each one with content dedicated to that so that Google thinks that that page is relevant to that search. You don't want to put residential, commercial, automotive all on one page because then you're confusing Google as to what that page is about. You want to have pages for the cities that you serve. So here, outside of Washington, D.C., you might have a Washington, D.C. page, an Arlington page, a Fairfax page, a Prince William County page, a Manassas page, a Falls Church page. Those are all cities in the area that you're going to serve. If you're doing automotive only, you can usually survive on a 5 to 7 mile radius around you and get plenty of business. If you're doing residential and commercial, you got to service a wider area. You're going to hit more cities. It becomes more and more important to have that content. You need to have unique content on each of those pages. Don't just duplicate the cities and then change the headline. Have different content, or else Google's going to look at it and say, okay, this duplicate content isn't as important. Keyword in the title and H1, we'll get more into that in a minute. Meta description that sells. Your meta description is what shows up in your search results under your title. So you want to have a description that encourages someone to click there, sell that click, tell them what they're going to get. Have the name, address, and phone number down in the footer. Those are very important for consistency with Google, with your citations that we'll get into in a minute as well. And you want to have a blog with ongoing updates that gets syndicated. We'll cover both of those. Blog should be at least once a month, more if you're really trying to rank, and they should target what we call long tail keywords. So you might want to think of something like residential window tint benefits, and you would have a blog, the top 10 residential window tint benefits that you need to know. And that would be your blog. Then you want to syndicate that out to other places that will point back to your website, and that is going to send more authority back to your website. And finally, this might actually be the most important thing: page speed. If your site is loading slowly, Google will not rank you highly. They do not want to deliver a slow site because that is a terrible user experience. So make sure that you're on a great, strong server, that your hosts are using fast servers so that your site is loading as quickly as possible and is optimized to load quickly. We just looked at a prospect's website yesterday that was taking 10, 11, 12, sometimes 15, 20 seconds to load because the designer had used these huge PNG files for all the photos on the website. And it was taking forever to load, and Google will never rank that site. This is what we call the ultimate website architecture for local SEO. Kind of tells you what you want to have on each page and how you should break down the site. This is what we use as the basis for every site that we design for our clients. If you want a copy of this, we will happily send it over to you. All right, Jim. Yep, that's exactly this. We will actually share this with you. This is very, very important to structure it out this way. This is what we've found Google recognizes the most. It really appeals to Google, gives Google exactly what it wants so that our sites are able to rank. So this is the structure that we rely on when we're building out websites. Keywords in your market. This is where you should start when you start building out a website. You want to see what the specific search traffic is for each keyword in your market. And that's going to give you an idea of which to target. We put the same information in here, and we're going to see that there are different search traffic, different amounts for each of the different search terms, and different search terms rank more highly for some than for others. So what we want to do is always check these when you're doing, when you're working on your website to see which ones you should focus on. In some markets, people search for home window tinting. In others, they search for residential. In others, they search for house. In some terms like privacy window film are huge. You get thousands of searches every month. In others, they get none. So you always want to check that out before you build out your website and use that as how you're going to decide what services you're going to focus on and what services you list on each and every page. As I said, with your website, you want to tell your story. Your website is like your autobiography for your business, and it needs to be similarly structured with the same consistency to tell Google your story. So if you saw a book and the title was one thing, the description on the back cover was another thing, the tagline was completely different, the chapter titles were different, and every chapter in the book was unrelated and it made no sense. Well, then you'd get frustrated with that book and you wouldn't recommend it to anybody. The same thing is true of your website. You need to have consistency throughout the content of your website to tell Google your story so Google knows how to rank you and what people are looking for you and how they're looking for you and what searches they should show you for. So I like to think of the URL of your website. That's what someone types in or to get to your website is the title of the book. The title of the website is like the tagline. So you ever see a book, there's usually a little blurb right there that gives you sort of an idea about what the book is about. The description is like the back cover or the inside cover of the book that tells you a little bit more about it, really sells why you should buy the book. It's gives you the story of, a doctor who's trying to solve a murder or something like that. It's the same thing with the tagline. It's supposed to draw you in and really hook you to going further. The H tags are like the chapter titles. So if you flip through a book, you see what the chapter titles are, see if that interests you. Same sort of thing with the H tags. Google looks at them, uses that to determine what the page is about more in depth. And then the content is like the text of your book. As you're reading the book, if every chapter isn't interesting to you, you're going to stop reading the book. The content of your pages should do the same thing. It's used to establish authority and really explain things like what your services are, what the benefits of them are, answer frequently asked questions. They're very easy ways to find out what questions people ask about the different services that you provide. And then also they should explain the different types of each services. So if you do dye, tint, and ceramic, you can break those down, explain the differences of them, benefits, drawbacks, etc. All right, so first the title. You can see right here on the left, you can see one that has the title filled out. On the right, you see one that does not, right? This isn't even actually the name. The name is actually Superior Interiors, and the title here is Superior Interior. So that's not filled out. That's not giving Google any information about what this page is about. Over here, East Coast Window Films, top window film provider, right? That tells Google what this page is about. Now, generally, we don't necessarily want to repeat the same thing. This might be better as top window tint provider or top window tint provider in area if you're only in one place. That's the things you kind of want to put in there. Description. You can see this one is all filled out. Great information. These guys don't do cars. They're all about window film for homes and offices and where they serve. So that is a very specific description that tells their preferred client exactly what it's about. This one doesn't have a description. You got to have the description. So now if they were to come up in search results, no one's going to see a description. There's nothing there to sell why someone should click on them instead. Got a little bit ahead of myself. You can see that there, the lack of the description. Also, you'll see they don't have the meta robots file set up. That's something that your search engine optimization team, your web developer should do. That's something that Google looks at. That's a little bit more technical. And then finally, the H tags. These are the chapters of the book. These are what Google's going to look at to get more in depth about what your page is about. You can see over here, the H1, the most important one, East Coast Window Films. This one has roller blinds. That's not the name of the company. That doesn't tell Google anything about what they do. Also, you only want one H1. They have 4. That's very confusing to Google because it's telling Google these 4 things are the most important thing. That doesn't make any sense to Google. Google wants one H1. And your H2s should break down more specifically what else Google needs to know. It's a provider of window film in South Jersey and Palm Beach, Florida. Offers privacy and security, energy efficiency, security, visually appealing. Those are very important things to tell Google what this page is about, what the benefits of it are. Energy efficiency, window film, our window film services. Most places would do our services. That doesn't tell Google anything. Our window film services. They do marine window film. They do residential window film. They do commercial window film. They don't just have benefits. They have benefits of window film. I think you're kind of getting the idea here. We want everything to kind of flow like it would chapters in the book to tell Google exactly what our page is about through our H1 tags, H tags. All right, gonna quick check the Q&As. We got a question from Paul. Only one H1. Yeah, you only want one H1 tag. You don't want to have more. One H1. You can have as many H2s, H3s, H4s, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as you want. One H1 tag. What should my H2s focus on? Again, your H2s, you're telling the high level story of what it is that you do. So reliable, where you're located, privacy, security. Those are the pieces that you want to show off because that's what you want to say to Google. And then if you do H3s, H4s, they all fall in between. So say I don't have them all in here, but the H3s that are under our window film services would probably be marine window film, residential window film, commercial, where they might be things like sun control, heat control, safety, security, things like that. You just want to keep breaking things down under each H2 with your H3s. So again, examples of content. What are your services? These are the services they provide: decorative, privacy, security, safety. What are the benefits? Reasons to choose this company. Spell it out, make it very clear to your customers. This is not only help them choose you, it's also going to help Google to rank you because you're telling them exactly why someone should choose you. Expertise and professionalism, value for the money, professional competitive pricing, customer service. Those are the main things that people ask about when they ask about service providers. So you want to address them right up front. Frequently asked questions. There are ways to go into Google, answer the public, places like that, and find out exactly what people ask in your area about window film, window tint, automotive, residential, etc. Answer those questions right on your page. Google loves that because you're answering the questions that people actually ask, and they're going to show you much higher in the search results. Also, you want to show your different types of service. So what are the different types of residential film that these guys offer? Clear, solar control, privacy, decorative, safety and security, low E. You're giving Google the information that it wants because it wants to deliver that information to customers. So just answer those questions, give them that content, tell the story about what you do. Here's a couple of live examples. This is one of our clients. You can see right here where they started working with us and just how much we've been able to increase their traffic in just that amount of time. Steady, 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 giant jumps because we updated their website. We matched ways we know that will help rank it with Google, and immediately they saw a huge jump. Here's some examples from of our clients. This was over the course of a month, what they spent with us in terms of ad spend, how many leads came in, their average cost per lead, and then how they broke down from their website, from their pay-per-click campaign, forms, and calls from maps. So you can see how important it is to rank your website for calls and for forms, because that's going to be a huge source of leads. You see, most of their leads are coming from SEO efforts as opposed to PPC efforts. You should do both, but you got to get your SEO right. Here's another client you can see again. the SEO efforts, and the calls that are coming from that. Average cost per lead, basically $24. Whoa, what happened there? Okay, sorry about that. Let me bring this back up. Sorry, looks like I'm having some crashing here. Okay. And again, another client. They spend a lot every month on Google ad spend. You can see that. They get tons of PPC leads, but you can also see calls from their website, website forms, maps calls. 2,000 leads, spending a good amount to get there. We can see their cost per lead is tiny at $5.13 a lead. But it's really, again, the SEO efforts that are really driving things. This is one more. See, when you get your search right, they're doing ads. So they're right there, number one. If you were to search for residential window tint, the ad comes up number one. And they come up in the first spot on search engine optimization. So for both of them, when you get them right, they support each other. You end up higher and higher in the search results. All right, takeaways. What have you learned so far? All right, Wyatt, content on the website is king. Yes, you got to have content on your website. We see lots of websites that only have, maybe a couple hundred words on it. You should have thousands of words on each page to be an authority. What else? All right, question. Do your Google ads affect your search engine results? Yes and no. The Google will never tell you that they favor sites that run ads as well, but we do tend to see some benefit from that. In niches where you can run Google local services ads, we absolutely see it. You can't do that for window tinting just yet. You can do it for other niches. But I think that running Google ads will help your search engine optimization. Google will never say it, but I've definitely seen that. Anything else? Any other questions? Any things you've learned, noticed, or would like to share? All right, question here. Link your Google business profile with your website. Yes, you should absolutely do that. You should have maps from your Google business profile on your website. We'll get over that in a minute. And you also want to link your Google business profile back to your website, not only in the website spot, but when you fill out your products and services on your Google business profile, you want to make sure that you link all of those to the corresponding products and services on your website. All right, going to keep moving. If anybody has any questions, just make sure to drop them in the Q&A or in the chat, and we will answer them. All right, off-page SEO. You want to make sure that you claim and optimize your Google business profile listing. We see lots of businesses that have not done that. That is free leads and free business for you. It controls where you show up on maps. So if you are not taking advantage of it, make sure that you're doing that. You want to get lots of citations across the web. We get asked all the time what citations are. Basically, there are thousands of data aggregators out there that just list businesses and their information. Google knows all of these. They check your citations on there to see that it's consistent. You want to claim those and get as many of those as you can. They will all link back to your website and give you positive, what's called link juice, Google juice, to show that you are known and getting references. Building up your online reviews. I am always amazed when I talk to a business that does not have a system in place to get more reviews. This is something you should be doing all the time. It must be part of your everyday process, either automated through text and emails, or having your customers or having your staff call customers and ask them for reviews. Over 80% of customers are going to check your reviews before they decide to buy from you. They also are probably 12, 13, 15% of your Google rankings is how many reviews you have, how often you're getting them, and what your average ranking is. So make sure you have a system in place to get you more reviews. And then you want to build authoritative backlinks from your website to your website from other websites. You want to share that authority. This is called link building. It's very important. Some people will say it's not as important as it used to be. I would say it's almost more important. Google wants to see high authority sites linking between each other. And finally, strategic content syndication. If you are writing blogs and posting them to your website, you want to leverage that on other platforms and create additional links from those platforms back to your website. Think of it like getting references. If one person tells you that Joe the plumber is great, then you might use Joe the plumber. If hundreds of people tell you that Joe the plumber is great, then you'll probably use Joe the plumber. If hundreds of people you trust tell you that Joe the plumber is great, then you'll definitely use Joe the plumber. This is the same thing online. If you get one link from one site, Google's not going to think that that's very important. If you get hundreds of links from other sites, Google's going to think that's more important. If you get hundreds of links from sites that Google thinks are authoritative, then you're going to get driven to the top search results. All right, kind of went over that already. All right, Google Business Profile. If you haven't gotten this already, you 100% need to lock this down and you need to fill out everything on it and optimize it. It gives you brand authority. One of the things that Google looks at is how long you've had your Google Business Profile. So if you haven't claimed it, you really need to do it because Google's not going to give it more authority until it's existed for a while. Under 30 days, doesn't give much to. Under 6 months, even less. All right, less than it would for an older business. Under a year. Once it's been there for a year, Google starts thinking of it more, ranking it more. Verification methods. If you've tried to verify a Google Business Profile, you know it can be a challenge. Google is getting more and more extreme about them, spending them more often, making it harder to get those listings. That's because there are tons of them that are fake. There are tons of fake listings out there, and Google hates those and wants them to be removed. So they do double verification now, where you're going to have to get verified by text or email and also by video or by talking with a rep. That is the highest valued verification from Google. Next, video verification live. That's where you talk with a Google rep. They'll ask you to do things, show them things while you're live with them on the phone. Next is the recorded live video. That's where you sign up with Google. They'll tell you everything you need to show them. You record a video, you send it to them, they review it, and if everything's good, they'll approve you. Next is the postcard. Postcard gets mailed to your address. You use that to verify your business. Sometimes you still get email options. Sometimes you still get a phone option. Doesn't happen as often anymore as it used to, but you can still sometimes get those for verification. Next thing Google really wants to look at is your review velocity. They want to make sure that you're getting reviews regularly. You don't all of a sudden get 50 in one day. That looks very fake. Google doesn't like that, assumes that they're fake, and will take them down. But they want you to be regularly getting reviews. So that's why it's really important to have that process in place. All right, got a question here from Jim. How can you get back reviews that disappeared? We made a video on this and shared this a while ago. It used to be impossible, but there is a way to do it now. It is not simple. You have to know the name of the person and the content of the review that they posted. Most people don't have that. If you have that, you can apply to get your reviews reinstated. But other than that, there's no really great way to do that. Okay, but I'll share that video to anybody who wants it. Recently unsuspended. Getting your business unsuspended is actually a good thing because it shows you're still interacting. It shows that it's a legitimate listing if someone is taking the time to get it unsuspended. So Google will typically pop you back up to the top. If you were there, got suspended, get unsuspended, you'll typically get right back there. Sometimes it doesn't happen. If you've done a lot of shady things or a lot of shady activity going to your listing and it gets unsuspended, Google will still sometimes not rank it. But if it's just because you changed your address or changed your phone number or something, if you re-verify, Google will typically put you right back at the top. Make sure you have engagement, not only that you filled everything out, but you're regularly uploading images, regularly uploading posts, events, things like that, updating your info, adding holiday hours, replying to reviews. Make sure that when someone leaves a review for you, you reply to it, good or bad. You need to reply to it. That shows Google that you're active. And then make sure you filled everything out. Your store code, logo, cover images, interior images, exterior images, video of the work or images of the work being done, staff images, all stuff like that is stuff that Google loves to see in your business. All right. Any questions about the Google Business Profile? All right. Let's see here. My profile is suspended. What can I do? Re-verify it. That's the only thing you can do. Yeah, if you go into your Google Business Profile, you'll see where it says you're not verified. Click on there and it'll ask you, it'll give you some options for how to re-verify it. Sometimes it happens quick. Other times it takes forever. We have a client in San Diego. It took months to get it re-verified. Every time he did the video, they would deny it for one reason or another. But you just got to go through that process and hope that you get verified. Is there any value in Google My Business posts, Google Business Profile posts? Yes, we recommend doing them regularly. They aren't the highest value thing, so we typically do them with our more expensive packages for search engine optimization. We'll post several times a week, but at least once a month, I would recommend doing once a week, and make them all about business. So these aren't social media posts. These aren't like Facebook posts or Instagram posts. If someone sees your Google Business post, it's because they're searching for your business. So have offers. Um, Show your work. If you know you're going to be slow on Wednesday, do a Google Business post with a offer for $50 off on Wednesday, and that kind of thing. Or what will be high value on your Google Business profile posts. For services, fill out everything about the service and then link them to your service page on your website. Events can be good for if you're doing events. They can also be good for helping with your rank for different geographies. So you could do an event that is automotive window tinting, Dripping Springs, Texas. Can be the event. It can last for a year, and that will actually help you rank in Dripping Springs or a certain area for those keywords because you're giving Google information about them. You have to re-up them after a year, but it's worth it. Definitely helps out there. You want to use the Google Map embed feature that comes with your Google Business Profile. You see right here, if you bring up your Google Business Profile, add map to website, just click on that. It's going to give you the embed code. Put that on your website, and that links back between your Google Business Profile and with your website. That's very helpful. Google likes that. You can also create an map in Google Cloud, embed that. You can put that on your contact location pages. You can embed it on third-party sites as well. We've got one on our contact page. This is kind of how you can make that. Two, not every Google listing has this feature. Sometimes if you're just a service area business and you don't have your actual map location, Google won't give it to you. Sometimes they do, but see if you do. And if you do, use that. Otherwise, you can go on Google Maps, search for your business. It'll give you the option to share. And when you bring that up, it'll give you the option to embed a map. And that's where you can grab the map if you don't have the option directly from the Google Business Profile. Right, so if you got any questions about the maps, where on the website should I put the maps? We put it in the footer. That way it's going to show up on every page. If you have multiple locations, then you do the map that matches the location. So, if you've got a location in Omaha, Nebraska, and a location in Lincoln, Nebraska, you should have different footers for those location pages and have the Google map for each location in the footer for that part of the website. Citation audit. This is one of the first things we do for a client when they come on board is we want to check out their citations from around the web and make sure that they are all accurate. You can see we typically find that they are not. So this is just one example. This is probably just their first 30 or so citations. We found hundreds, and we can see that they're duplicates or they're incorrect, they're not found. It means we have to go in there and correct them and make sure that they are consistent. We want them all to be the exact same. That is very important to Google. They want your name, address, and phone number to be the same across all of your citations. So that's something that we do right away. We correct all those. We also do what's called a citation gap. We want to see what citations their competitors have. So this is the top 5 competitors for this client. And you can see which ones they have. They all have Foursquare. Only one of them is expertise. A couple of them have Home Advisor. What we want to do if competitors have certain citations and we don't, well, then we want to go get them. All right. So all of these guys have all of these down here: Yellow Pages, Just Landed, Merchant Circle, City Search, White Pages, Super Pages, Local, Compass, Storeboard, Brown Book, Spoke, Hot Frog, Yellow Book, Yellow Bot, Bizpedia. They all have those. We need to go and get them. All right. We want to make sure that we're not leaving anything behind when it comes to competition. All right. Any questions about citations? So what exactly are citations? They're just listings. They're just listings online. So all of these pages here on the left have listings for businesses. Just need to make sure that your site is on there and consistent. Can we use Yext for this? Yes, you can use Yext. Yext is a cheap solution. I hate it personally. You don't own your listings with Yext. If you stop paying them, they delete them and you won't have them anymore. So they set up your top 100 citations. You decide you don't want to use them anymore. They delete them and they're gone and you can't use them anymore, which I think is lame. and their back end is tough to use. So I'm not a huge fan of Yext. There are other services that do it much better. We do a lot of this manually. Some of them we get done with the service that we have, but we find those work a lot better. Citation creation, you can see, for our clients, we build tons of citations. This is, the first 50 or so. There are hundreds. We continually build more for our clients as well. You can just see we build them all out and we do them all manually. Again, we talked about reviews a little bit. You need to have a consistent stream of reviews coming in that'll build your credibility of your business and move the needle on your map ranking as well. Positive online reviews tell Google that your business provides a good experience for customers. Replying to negative reviews does the same thing. Google wants to know that you service your customers. So if someone leaves a bad review, you've got to respond to it. Add a QR code to the back of your business card, to your receipts, to your estimates, to all the docs, your checkout docs, everything like that. Have a QR code. It makes it super easy for a customer to leave you a review. You just scan that code, takes them to a page, they leave you a review. Makes life so much easier. Some of the ranking factors associated with online reviews: total number of reviews, frequency of reviews, diversity of reviews site. So Google reviews are the number one most important, but Google is actually starting to also look at other sites. So Facebook, Yelp, TripAdvisor, Angie's List, all of those things have reviews on them. Google's starting to look at those as well for ranking factors. So if you're already doing great on Google, think about reaching out and trying to get more reviews on Facebook, Yelp, and other sites. You'll improve your keyword rankings in the local pack, as there are lots of signals tied to it. Like I mentioned before, 12 to 15% of your local rankings comes from reviews. Definitely increases the number of conversions that occur when you have a 4.0 rating or higher. So more people are going to click on your Google business profile, give you a call if you got a 4-star or more ranking than if you've got something below there. Glowing reviews also become marketing and link opportunities. You can share those onto your social media pages with a link back to your Google business profile or your website. Put them on your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter. All those are high, what are called domain authority sites. So links from them back to your website are very important. You can actually link them to the review as well. That'll send additional link juice through there too. It also makes a local business appear more credible to current and potential customers. If I'm searching for a service provider, in this case, window tinting, and I land there and you've got 100 reviews, you've gotten 30 in the last 3 months, and you're at a 4.8 star rating, just look much more credible to me than if you don't have those things. Use review screenshots and images, post, PR, blogs, all of those things. Use your Google business profile to post with third-party review images with a link and text. So if you get a review on Yelp, create a Google business profile post with an image of that review and then link back to it from your Google business profile. That's going to send positive messages to Google. Link to your reviews. Each one of your reviews on any platform has a way that you can link to it. That's helpful. Use those third-party sites, reviews like Yelp and Facebook, like I said. And then you can also use a system that we use called Signal Genesis to get Google reviews included in your press releases. We'll go over more of that in a minute. Any questions about reviews before we get on to the next thing? All right. Can we filter out bad reviews? I mean, sort of. When you ask for reviews, you can send them to a page that will, ask them good experience, bad experience. And if it's bad, have them email you. If it's good, send them to Google or Facebook or Yelp. That's what we typically do, but you have to have a link for them to directly go out to leave your review, even if they leave a negative one. If you don't, it's called review gating. Google hates it, and they will shut you down. It's also, I believe, sort of illegal. I think the FTC has a ruling on that as well. So you have to make it possible for them to leave you a bad review if you are trying to generate reviews. Getting links. This is what we discussed with referrals. We do backlink analysis for all of our clients to see how many links that they have to their website. You can see these guys have 1,428 links to their website from 189 domains. You definitely don't want to have all your links coming from one site. That looks shady to Google. They do not like that one bit. They want you to have a diverse number of links coming in from a diverse number of sites. You also want to be careful what's called spam backlinks. We had a client come to us a while ago. She had over 5,000 spam backlinks coming into her website, which killed it. She had zero traffic because of that. We think that one of her competitors did that, just bought her a bunch of spam backlinks to go there to absolutely kill her website. Can't know for sure. What we had to do was go in and disavow all of those spam backlinks, which basically means we go in and tell Google, we don't like this. It doesn't actually have anything to do with our company. We disavow this link. Please remove it and don't give it any credibility. You have to go in and manually do that for 5,000 backlinks. It takes a very long time, but is 100% worth it. Think of it like if somebody you hate and do not trust recommends a business, you're not going to recommend that business. So if you're getting backlinks from overseas sites, sites that are unrelated to what it is that you do, porn sites, stuff like that, it is absolutely going to kill you with Google, and you've got to get rid of them. Once we did that, her traffic has now gone up exponentially since then. So that's something else that you definitely want to check out. Make sure you're getting links from reputable sources. Some places sell backlinks, and in general, they are garbage. Here's some good ways to get local links. You could do sponsorships of local teams. They all have websites. Usually, if you do a sponsorship, they will give you a link back to your website. They'll also do some on their social media platforms as well. Host a community event for specific season, Christmas, or whatever. Again, they'll typically link back to your website from that. Also gives you something you can use as an event on your Google business profile. Create a local resource page. If you do business with other businesses in your area, so if you are an automotive tinter and you work with a detailer and a body shop and an auto glass place, have a local resource page on your website, link out to them, ask them to do the same, link back to you. And that's going to send good link juice in both directions. You can sponsor a scholarship, reach out to schools, school districts. .edu links are great. Those are high directory authority. Guest post to local sites in your area. If there's a local business magazine, a local community interest magazine, offer to write an article for them if they will link from their site back to yours. You can also host interviews with local celebrities, promote interviews on blogs, reach out to local news or something of interest. If you do school security is super huge right now. Lots of localities are offering incentives for schools to improve their security. Security film is big for that. That's the kind of thing that you could reach out to local news about. If you end up getting a job, I was putting security film on a school, private school, public school, whatever. I reach out. Local news is constantly looking for stories to tell. So that is a great way to kind of get on there and get some additional, not only PR, but link juice as well. Strategic content syndication, I mentioned this a little bit previous. A simple blog post on your site isn't going to cut it anymore. There is some value to it, but it's not enough. So what you want to do is create what's called authority signal generation. That means that you are putting your content on other sites that have high authority to Google. Google right now has created this thing they call EEAT, which is what they are leveraging on search engine optimization to decide what they're going to rank. They look for content that has EEAT. Well, what is EEAT? EAT stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. That's what Google wants to look at for all content. And if you have all four of those things, Google is going to rank your content and thus your site higher. So experience is the extent to which the content creator has the necessary firsthand experience on the topic. Every piece of content that is added to the web has an author. And if that author is someone with experience that is described either on the site or on other sites, Google will rank that content higher. We have a partner we work with on a past and a legacy site. He is an expert arborist. The site is a tree care site. Everything that he writes gets a boost in its organic rankings because he has lots of references from all across the web about him. So Google considers him an authority and very experienced. He has tons of expertise. So again, like if the person talking has the expertise, also if your content is structured in a quality way and it has media in it as well, YouTube videos, blogs, audio content, photos, etc., Google likes that. And then authority. Where is your content published? It's just on your website. Yeah, it has a little bit of authority. If you can get it published in other places, that has a lot more authority. I'll kind of show you how you do that in a second. And then finally, trust. You pass trust and page link with link signals, implied trust. So If Google trusts abc.com and they link back to your website, Google thinks your site should be trusted as well. If a top ranked page links back to your website, Google thinks, okay, well, this top ranked page is linking back to this website. We should rank this page higher as well. Here on the right side, you can see the local pack ranking factors and the localized organic ranking factors. This is what it takes to rank on maps. This is what Google looks at to rank organically. For the maps, Google Business Profile signals are number one. For organic, link signals. So this means all your links from other pages. These are the things that Google's looking at to decide how to rank you. So it's a number one. It's almost 30% of your ranking is coming from that. So anybody who says links aren't important is just plain old lying to you. These other ones that you can see on maps, link signals, review signals, on-page signals, citation signals, behavioral signals, personalization, social signals, organic link signals, on-page signals, behavioral signals, Google My Business signals, citation signals, personalization, review signals, social signals. So the same factors, they're just in different order. Authority. This is something most sites don't do. We do this with our higher level packages. You want to have a people staff page on your website that describes who the person is, what their expertise is, and links out to their profile. So Gravatar, LinkedIn, Quora, Medium, Reddit, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram. What are their different profiles online? The more you can build those out on their author page, the more authority Google is going to think that they're going to have. So anybody who's going to be posting onto your website, definitely add those. Not only because people like to do business with people, so seeing that they're real people working for a company is important, but building out their authority through that piece of your website as well is super important. Anybody have any questions about that? Let's see. Author page for everybody who works for me. Not necessarily. Like I like having pages for members of the company. I think people who, customers like that. They like doing business with people. So seeing, who works there, people will definitely like that. So that's an important thing to do. I mean, you don't necessarily need to give them all author pages on the website if they're not going to be writing any content. Giving them pages, yes, not necessarily author pages. Like you should have a specific author page for anybody who's going to be posting content to your website. Do I have to put my Facebook, Instagram? No, you don't. I mean, I would, unless you're going to be embarrassed by it. I would put it and link it because that's just additional link juice that's going to be passed that people will be able to get some additional authority from. So I would do that, but you don't have to. Consider it like the difference between A content and B content, right? Like if you have the page set up for anybody who's going to be an author on your site, just having it there is a bonus. If you put links to their different profiles, that's even more of a bonus. So build it out, like get the minimum viable product ready, and then build from there to make it as good as it can be. This is an example of some of our content syndication. This was a blog we wrote for one of our clients on the legacy side about hazardous trees. We did our distribution on it. You can see WHTV news site published it, and it got published on hundreds of other sites. You can see right here. Here's a list of some of them that it was published on. And this is just the start. It went to hundreds of sites, and they all published it, and that sends high authority link signals back to our website. So that's a great service that we add to our higher level packages. A few examples of some of the real results from this effort. Top rankings, these are the search terms that they wanted to rank for. You can see kind of the keywords that were up, the number that were down, no change, and new rankings. So they were up in 151 keywords, and we added 352 new keywords that they were not ranking for at all previously. So these guys do not only automotive, they do paint protection, ceramic coatings, home, business, storefront, all the flat glass as well. But through our efforts, we were able to very much improve their rankings. Here's another one. Went up 65. Rankings went up on 65 different search terms, added 175 or 117 new search terms to their rankings. These guys went up 135, 102 new rankings. And we did that through our search engine optimization program, the different things that we do. So we've kind of covered these already, just to kind of review. On page, make sure that you have pages for each services and all your main cities, that you've optimized your titles, your H1s, your URLs, your images, etc. unique content on each and every page. On your Google Business Profile, make sure you've claimed and optimized your maps. You've added Yext or some sort of citation management system that's going to collect all those citations for you. You send all your information to the major data aggregators. Put a system in place for driving online reviews. Make sure you're getting them regularly. Try to add new citations on an ongoing basis. Make sure that you're checking those out every month. See the ones you have, the ones you don't, the ones your competitors have that you don't, and you're getting any citations that you don't already have. Ongoing content, make sure you're publishing new blog content and you're syndicating them out to search engines, getting them published on high authority sites. And then you're leveraging signals. Make sure you've got your expertise, your experience, your authority, and your trust set up. Multiple do follow links back to your website, to your Google Business Profile, internal pages, etc. Multiple map embeds on your website if you got more than one location. You also want to have map embeds on your service area pages that's showing the map of their area, and then fresh content as often as you can. Again, we have our checklist that you can download and put that into the chat. So if you haven't downloaded it already, go ahead and do that. All right, takeaways. What did we learn about offsite signals? All right, Jim, but there's more to this than I thought. Yes, there's a lot to it. A lot goes into it. You can start with the foundational stuff, the on-site, and then the basics with the Google Business Profile and your social media platforms, connect those all back to your website. That will really get you started. It's really when you're in a more competitive market or if you're trying to expand that you have to start worrying about the more advanced stuff, the signal generation and the syndication, the content distribution, all of the service area pages and stuff like that. Those are more high level. So, when you're getting started, you can concentrate on the foundation just to get the ball rolling, but the more competitive it gets, the more you really got to do. Sorry about that. Somebody is Facebook messaging me right now. They apparently didn't know that I am on a webinar. All right, let's see. Tony says, where should I start? Start with following the advice for the on-page optimization, and then think about Google Business Profile optimization. Those two things will really get the ball rolling for you. Those would be the first two things that I would recommend doing. Who writes the content for the blog? It depends. For our clients, we write it. We have clients who like writing and they write it themselves. So it just really depends. Is Facebook posting important? Not hugely. I think it's important to kind of show that you're active. It's almost like your open sign. If people go to your Facebook page and you haven't posted in 6 months, they probably think you're closed. It's not huge in terms of lead generation. Only like 6 to 12% of your followers will ever see anything you post to Facebook. But it's almost like table stakes now that you've got to post to it. If you do great content and you share it in lots of places, it can turn into a really good lead generator for you. But I wouldn't say it's the number one thing. All right. Well, if you want any help about this, this is what we do for our clients. This is what we do every day to help them grow and get more business. So we would love to have a conversation with you about how we do that and how we could help you grow your business. You can put "Let's talk" in the comments, or you could also reach out to us. We will do a free SEO review and visibility scan for you, kind of see where you are right now, where the opportunities are for you in your area for search engine optimization, Google Maps optimization, Google Ads, etc. We'll run that for you for free if you schedule a call with us. Super easy to do that. You can either call us at 571-454-9939, or you can visit tinttitans.com/strategy session calendar. I'm going to put that link into the chat here. tinttitans.com/strategy session calendar. So if you want to schedule a time to talk with us, you can just click on that link and schedule a time that works for you. This is what you'll get with your SEO review. Get analysis, your online visibility, custom keyword list for the most important search terms in your market. Like I said, they are different in every market. You'll get a ranking report that'll show you where you rank currently, not just organically, but on the maps as well. Get analysis of online directory listings and consistency. Make sure that those citations are all in line. Analysis of your online reviews and reputation. Analysis of your social presence. Your website conversion effectiveness. All of that and more if you jump on a review with us. for a strategy session. We'll review all of that and send that over to you after the call. So if you're interested, I would love to talk with you guys, answer any questions you have about your online marketing presence, how you can improve it, how you can get more business. Just call us 571-454-9939 or go to that link I gave you for our strategy session calendar, and we will set up a strategy session with you. It's right there, tinttitans.com/strategy session calendar. All right. So that's everything so far about the new SEO formula. Does anyone have any questions that I haven't answered? Go ahead and put them in the chat, in the Q&A or in the chat, and we would be happy to answer any questions that you have. All right, Tom, how long does it take to start ranking for a new business? It will not be right away. Google does not trust new businesses. So, best case scenario, you're probably looking at 3 months before you show up. As soon as you get your Google Business Profile set up and claimed, you should start at least showing up somewhat, right? Because that's on the map. And so you'll usually start showing up like right for your location. And then from there, it's a matter of expanding the radius that you show up for. But that will get you started there relatively quickly. So as soon as you get it claimed, verified, you'll start showing up in Google Maps. But to start ranking highly for a wider area and the organic, it's going to take longer. At least probably 3 months or more to do that. And sometimes we've seen it faster, but oftentimes it's going to be a little bit longer. And then to be dominant, to really, rank across a wide range, to really dominate the maps in the organic, you're looking at, 6 months or more to really do that. So it will be a slower process. Once you're there, then you get leads every month, almost on autopilot. We like to say that it's like building a fire with wood. It takes longer to get going, but once it gets going, it burns for a long time. Ads are like starting a fire with gas. You light it up immediately, but it's going to burn very quickly unless you keep adding gas to it. So we say, start with ads, get the fire burning while your search engine optimization picks up. And then once the search engine optimization picks up, if you're busy enough, then you can dial back the ads. All right. Are there any social profiles that are better for search engine optimization? Google is really starting to leverage Reddit. So we encourage our clients to have Reddit accounts. Searches with Reddit at the end are becoming really popular. So people might search for what's the best automotive window tint? Reddit, right? Because they're going to go to Reddit and see what people have been saying about that. So posting and sharing on Reddit can be very important. We definitely recommend our clients do that because that can really help out as well. It's a very high authority and people are turning to them a lot. Also, Quora, people turn to Quora. So you can answer questions on Quora. And then, the major ones, the Twitters, your Facebook, those, also have very high directory authority. So posting to them and linking back to your website, your properties, etc., on there can be very good for your search engine optimization. What do you think about click-through manipulation? Dangerous. It can give you very good results. It can really help out because it shows that you're, valued and people are relevant to you in different parts of your area. But if you do it wrong and you do too much of it, Google will just nuke your listing for manipulating things. For those who don't know, click-through manipulation is basically spoofing your location to show up in different parts of your area, and then search for your business, get driver directions to your business. Those look really good because it looks to Google like you're relevant in those different areas. But if you do it too much, it becomes obvious, and Google thinks you're manipulating things and they'll shut you down. So you've got to be very, very careful about that. All right. Any other questions? What's more important, ads or search engine optimization? I wouldn't call it an either or. Ads are faster. SEO lasts longer. So when a new client comes to us, we typically start them on ads because ads are going to get them business right away. As soon as you turn the ads on, you should start getting leads and getting business. So we recommend starting with that. And then as soon as that is working, bringing you business, then you can move on to search engine optimization. If you have the budget to do both right away. because like I said, it's going to take at least 3 months for the SEO to start showing results. So you want to start that as soon as possible. It's just not going to bring you results right away, but you can't wait forever for it to work. So you got to get the ball rolling on that. And then when it's completed, then you would, or not when it's completed, get the ball rolling with your ads. Ads are bringing you business right away. And then, your search engine optimization will start rolling in. So if you don't have the budget for both, I say go with ads. If you have the budget for both, search engine optimization. All right. Some questions about specific utilities. Some of those are good, but they're kind of hacky. I think you just go with the basics, keep doing the basics, and you don't have to worry about Google smacking you down. If you're trying any like newfangled black hat kind of stuff, it can cause a lot of problems. So I wouldn't recommend any of those things that you listed there. Okay. Any other questions? I'm not seeing anything else in the Q&A. Anybody have any other questions to ask? All right. I don't see any others. So if we don't have any others, we're going to wrap it up. Again, if you have questions, you would love to talk and see if we're a good fit to work together. We work with dozens of window and glass tinting companies across the country. We would love to help you out too. The best way to do that is to hop on a strategy session with us. tinttitans.com/strategy-session-calendar is the easiest way to do that. We'll go through and we will do an analysis of your business and see what would be the best way for us to assist you in growing your window and glass tinting company. Over this year, the clients that have been working with us have all seen really great growth. We have clients on our Google Ads account who have tripled and quadrupled their ad spend, are getting 2 and 3x return on their investment with us, whether they're doing flat glass or automotive, paint protection and ceramics, all those things we've been seeing really good results for. So if you're interested in growing your window and glass tinting business, I would love to have a conversation with you. Again, tinttitans.com/strategy-session-calendar, or give us a call, 571-454-9939. There are no other questions. I'm going to cut it off here. Keep an eye. We'll send the replay for this to you if you attended or if you just signed up. And we'll be doing another webinar next month on another topic about online marketing for window and glass tinting companies. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Thank you for your questions, and hope to talk with you soon on a strategy session.